What's up, guys? This is Kephas. Welcome back to WoW Classic, everyone. We are certainly still in Duskwood, leveling up our Warlock here, killing some Worgen. We have a Worgen hunting quest to do, and I want to try to complete it here. I could go down to the farm as well, but I'm a little bit nervous about going down there, so yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. But either way, we'll try it here. I may have to go down there. That might be where a more collection of these guys are. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm supposed to hunt, but these are obviously not the ones, but we'll see what happens. But either way, we're just going to try to get this level. We're very close to hitting level 28, I believe. Yeah, so 28, which is cool because, so what happened was at the end of the last episode, like I said, I was going to look into the Stalvin quest line, and I did a bunch of that. I'm actually to the point where I could actually do the part where we fight Stalvin. Is that how you say his name? Is it Stalvin? Yeah, Stalvin. Okay, I was just making sure. I always misread things, so I wasn't sure. Looks like, though, a lot of people are still around here, but it's okay. So either way, we're going to get some skins. I'm telling you, I made all my money back from the money that I had spent on getting more bags. I've already made that back just mainly from skinning and a little bit of mining. So it's worth it to me just to hang out here and kill things and skin things and sell those skins and make some money and get some easy XP. So that's what we're going to do, and it's going to be fun. So anyway, you know, I've been having a lot of fun lately with these episodes because I've been talking about different things that as I put it, you know, I hope can generate some discussion, and that I guess means that sometimes the topics could be, you know, controversial, and that basically just means that people will have different perspectives or people will disagree, and you know, or whatever. And I hope that those disagreements don't lead to any problems, you know, and we can be respectful of one another's opinions and that kind of thing. So, but I hope that people have been enjoying it. I hope that it has, you know, at least been thought-provoking, and maybe, you know, we can, you know, have good discussions and maybe learn a few things. Maybe, you know, our perspectives can be enhanced, that kind of stuff. That's what I like to do, and I think it just makes the videos more fun in general to me. You know, I won't do it all the time, but every now and then whenever there's something on my mind, you know, it's, you know, like I always say, I'm just leveling up a character and talking about God knows what, and people are courteous enough to listen, and that's awesome. So I really appreciate that, you know, a lot. Honestly, like I say it all the time. Well, I don't think I say it enough, actually, is what I mean to say. I really appreciate you guys, you know, who watch my videos, who share them, like them, you know, comment, give feedback, all that stuff. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it. And that kind of brings me to what I want to talk about today, because you know, I've been doing YouTube for a while now. It's never something that I ever thought would, you know, be anything crazy. The first videos I made were just, you know, honestly, the first WoW videos I made were just like for my guildies and my friends, like, hey, here's some videos, whatever. And, you know, I never thought that I would get anywhere crazy with them. I mean, I never thought I would get 100 views with most of my videos, you know. And, you know, then I did like Legally Blind because I thought it was a funny idea, and I just wanted to get into something and, you know, do something fun, and that obviously kind of the same thing. You know, I never thought it would really go anywhere. And I had a couple videos that actually, you know, I was surprised. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I got you know, 100 views, 1,000 views, or whatever, and then some that went way above that, and, you know, it's like, wow, the rest is history. But, you know, this is something that I do because I enjoy it, because I like doing it. I like making videos. I am very passionate about video games. I'm a visually impaired person. I think I can, no pun intended, but bring a different perspective, and it's something that I do. I do it for fun. I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it, you know, and it is nice to that it is what it is. And, like, you know, I don't like to ever say, I never like to use the word fans. I never like to say my fans. You know, I mean, I know where I am. I'm a relatively small channel, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And no matter, even if I was a huge channel, I would never really like to use the word fans. I like to refer to people as my audience. That seems like a better word, because, like, you know, I'm not, you know, I have never been one to build. I'm not here to build a community. I'm not here to, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm not, like, that's why, like, I don't, you know, I don't really have a Discord. I don't stream. I don't really, that doesn't really appeal to me. I just like to make videos. Here's my video. I hope it's helpful or entertaining, or it's just something fun or whatever, and I enjoy making them. You know, some videos get lots of views, some videos get, you know, not as many views, but I enjoy making them all either way, and that's why I do it primarily. And, you know, I like the interaction, that kind of stuff. I like, if whenever I get people that say, you know, this helped me or whatever, that's always, you know, a good thing, especially if it's, you know, helps someone with a game, or if it helps encourage somebody, or if it makes someone feel better, you know, if it makes someone's day better. All that stuff is genuinely, and I mean it sincerely. That's why I like to do it. I don't do it for anything more than that. I'm not like, I don't care about being huge or whatever. If it never goes anywhere beyond what it is, I like doing it. And, you know, you guys are you're my audience. You know, I don't think of people as my fans, no matter what, you know, and that's how I personally that's how I personally, you know, view it. You know, we're all equals here, where there's no, you know, I'm not a leader of a community, like, and I never would be, even if I was a huge, you know, whatever, you know. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, I've, you know, like, lately, and this is where we get into the topic, and it kind of goes outside of WoW, and it goes outside of all that stuff, and it's actually a pretty stupid issue in my opinion. But I guess maybe with the situation with the pandemic, and people are just home more often, more distracted. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but it feels like there's been a lot more drama in the you know, the community, quote unquote, like the content creator community, I guess, or you know, the YouTube and Twitch streamer communities. Like, there's just been drama after drama after drama, and I personally hate drama, you know, but, like, if you're on the internet, if you watch videos, I mean, it just gets kind of put in your face, and it's kind of annoying. Like, I got especially annoyed the other day when my, like, 14-year-old nephew was like, "Did you hear about the drama between this person and that person on Twitch?" And I'm like, oh god, like, you know, like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I hate that, like, that's something that he, like, it's being presented to him, and not just, like, you know, people having fun with games or whatever. Like, I hate that that's kind of where things seem to be going. It's really annoying. But at the same time, because it is drama, of course you tend to get sucked into it, and that's also annoying. Working in the Woods, is that a quest that I can pick up? Interesting. Anyway, so, like, I don't know how other people feel about drama. I know people are different. Some people love drama, some people hate drama, some people don't want to be involved in drama, but they like to hear about drama. You know, there are all kinds, some people like to start drama, you know, there's all those types of people. And I tend to be one that generally hates drama, but I can admit that whenever, I mean, it's hard not to, you know, it's like a train wreck. You can't help but look sometimes, like, oh my god, you know it's awful. It kind of bothers you, but, you know, it's there. And it's been growing, but lately there's been a growing, I guess, well, I should say, I don't know where it will end up by the time this video gets released. It might be past. It might be history, but at the point of recording this video, it's kind of a hot topic right now, I guess, between YouTube content creators and Twitch streamers. Is kind of where the drama seems to be at the moment. And I mean, if there was ever a crown for the first world problems, like an argument for, you know, who has the bigger first world problems, it is an argument between YouTube content creators and Twitch streamers. And it's been pretty dumb for the most part, and, like, I don't follow it too heavily, so there may be parts of it that I don't fully understand. I don't want to get too in depth in terms of, like, people involved and you know, people who are a problem or this and that, and, like, you know, shooting, you know, firing shots at anybody. But one of the sentiments that I saw was, like, well, there was, like, this thing where Twitch streamers were saying, like, oh, YouTubers don't really do a lot of work, Twitch streamers do way more work, and, like, it's very dumb. I mean, it's dumb on both sides. I feel like both do a reasonable amount of work depending on, you know, the person. I mean, it's subjective to the content creator. I mean, you know, there might be YouTubers like, I mean, take a YouTuber like JonTron or Internet Historian or Down the Rabbit Hole, who only release a video once every few months, or maybe even once a month at most, but they obviously put a ton of work, research, video editing, all that, you know, script writing, all of that goes into, you know, producing that one video. So it's not like, like, well, take an example like this video here. It's very relatively low effort. It's not as much effort as, say, my guide videos or a top 10 list, or other videos like a thought, like the old minutes in gaming videos, which those took a lot more effort. These types of videos don't take as much effort necessarily. So that's why you see more of them. Sometimes, if you want, like when YouTube kind of switched to being more like, we favor people who release more videos, you probably started to see more videos, but maybe ones that weren't as high of a quality in terms of, the production value or whatever, because that's just the nature of how the algorithm and all that nonsense changed. That's why a lot of people like to do Let's Plays, because I like doing them. I like to do a mixture, like, here's some Let's Plays, I can release a bunch of these out, and while, in the downtime, I can work on another project, and I kind of like doing that. I like Let's Plays, though. I think they're fun to do. I think they're fun to watch, depending on who's making them, of course. There's a tin vein. We'll go get that. But in general, like, it's a very weird blanket statement argument, and the same goes for Twitch. There are Twitch streamers that are very fun to watch. They put a lot of effort into it. They play, games. Sometimes it's entertaining to watch because they're funny. Sometimes, so it's their personality, or it's maybe their skill. They're really good. The speed running streams. Some of those people can be really fun to watch. Different things like that. I'm honestly not a big streamer watcher, but at the same time, then you have people who, well, this is where one of the interesting aspects of the drama kind of came from. You have a lot of Twitch streamers who will spend, lots of time, like, just sitting there watching YouTube videos or other people's content and just quote unquote reacting to it, which really doesn't involve a lot of reacting at all. It's just them watching and maybe making a face or a comment every now and then. And so that obviously that doesn't take much effort at all, and it depends on what people are doing. But it brought up a question of, fair use, quality content, that kind of stuff. And I think it's actually very interesting. It's, like, I'm very careful about, like, even when I play this game or other games, like, how much content from that game do I want to show, like, in terms of, like, just robbing, like, because, like, I even, like, think about games that are heavily story based. Even like Final Fantasy 14, I think about playing that, but I'm also like, that's a very heavy story game. I wouldn't want to take away from that experience from people. So it's like, a lot of times you'll notice I don't play a lot of heavy story. Certainly if it's newer, I think twice about it, because I'm like, a lot of the experience of that game is playing the game and experiencing the story for yourself. If you can just experience it on YouTube, then it kind of takes away a lot from the game and makes maybe people don't have as much incentive to buy it, stuff like that. It's a good question to ask, but certainly, but you can still, I feel like you could even still make that transformative. I think that a lot of people, they like watching, like, for example, say Resident Evil 2. It was fun to watch a bunch of people react to Tyrant, or what was his name, Mr. X, I think. I forget what his name was, but watching him bust out of the wall for the first time and scare people to death, So it's fun to watch that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's fun to watch reactions. Like, certainly, I like to watch lately, I've been watching, like, a doctor reacts to these movie scenes, or a Marine reacts to Full Metal Jacket. Like, those are fun to watch because it's just an interesting perspective, and that can be very transformative. And it's like, you're seeing little clips. It's not people watching, obviously, the whole movie and then reacting. That's a bit different. But, like, I've watched, there's a YouTuber who reviews Christian movies, but it's a lot of commentary, it's clips. He's really funny. His name is Say Goodnight Kevin. He reviews, like, Christian movies and Christian content. I think that's kind of funny. It's really funny because, like, Christian content often isn't that good, and it's just funny seeing his reaction to it. As a Christian, and I'm a Christian, so it's obviously fun for me to watch that. And he's done a couple, like, full movie, like, old low budget movie commentary. Like direct to DVD or direct to CD or VHS, old movies where it's been like a complete commentary. That's fun to watch. I actually used to I used to love sometimes I still do, Film Sack, where they would do like what they would do is they would have commentary, like where they would watch a whole movie together, and they'd be like, hey, you can watch the movie too, and then like we'll have our voices, you can have our voices go over that, and you can we'll react to it together. And it's kind of fun to do that. So like kind of like a watch party almost. The stuff like that's fine. But when it's like, say, somebody on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, like, I mean, the React channel, the React channels were always a questionable thing too, where people would, just watch the video, not really react at all, and, upload that content. I mean, there was someone who was watching entire anime movies or shows, but there are a lot of people and some streamers that I actually, I like some of their videos. There's a guy, who I watched some of his Overwatch clips. There's a WoW streamer that I like a lot of some of his stuff as well. But there are different people that are guilty of doing this, where they I mean, I'll give you an example. So I was YouTube, I have it autoplay videos, right? And so there was a recent video from Internet Historian. It was really funny. But the first time I ever saw it show up on my feed was actually a streamer, a video from a streamer's stream that was re-uploaded to YouTube of him watching that video in full. That was the first time I ever saw that video on YouTube, not from the actual Internet Historian channel himself, but from the streamer re-uploading that. Well, maybe it wasn't him re-uploading it, but it was like someone took out stream snipe or whatever you call it, not stream snipe, but took out the clip from his stream of him watching another guy's video and then re-uploading that to YouTube, and had ads on it and everything, and so you get into something that's very questionable at that point. So obviously I would, I was like, oh, I better go watch the Internet Historian's actual video. That's, he put a lot of effort into that. He deserves the view, not the streamer or some other person's channel. It's like a weird way for people to, and I don't think a lot of people realize what it is. I don't think a lot of people may intend to do this. I'm sure a lot of them do, but it's, in my opinion, it's kind of a form of stealing content. Like I said, maybe some people, I don't like to accuse people of malice or malpractice or whatever you call it, but I do think that it's certainly questionable. And I think that if you're someone who maybe you're a relatively large channel or whatever, and you make a video where people will check it out, but it could be very frustrating if, say, you see another person's reaction to your video and that has more views than your video itself, because what happens a lot of times is that people like streamers or other content creators, they get a following, they get a large following, people love everything they do, and obviously people are going to watch them react to stuff or anything that they're uploading or whatever, oh, I wonder what they think of this or that or whatever. And that's fair and reasonable, but it's also kind of unfair if you think about it to the original content creator, if they're not getting those views that they might have otherwise gotten, because one of the streamers was trying to say that transformative is subjective, and that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I mean, I can tell you for a fact that it's not true, because my wife works in the graphic design industry, and there's a rule that when you're using, if you're coming up with an idea that might, look at this hunter not attacking, not even helping kill this thing, just standing there, because why not? What a jerk. I don't even know what's going on there. But anyway, because I feared that thing away. Whatever, it's fine. But there's a rule where you verify, okay, if we make something and if it's if it uses more than if it's 30% similar to something else, or we're designing something off of a trend from something else, 30% of it is transformative. Anything above that, and we are now copying, if that makes sense. So if it's more than 30% similar to something else, it's questionable. At that point, it's not even worth doing, because it could be considered completely stealing other content, and that's not something that you want to do, because there's a difference between being inspired by something or following a trend or whatever, and outright just taking someone else's content. And I think, like, if you're going to react to a video, I actually think reactions can be very fun and very well done if it's transformative, and that's either through, clipping it out, and only having the bits that you're reacting to, or by doing something else to make it your own, sort of thing, I guess. You can talk about it. You could even review it post. I mean, there are a lot of people who review movies on YouTube that are really fun to watch. They don't show a single clip from the movie, but they review the movie, and that's transformative because they're giving their opinion of the movie. It's not just them watching it and like, or like that kind of thing, or eating something. God, that's like the worst. There are people that, like, I've seen clips of people who are just like sitting there eating a meal. Which, who wants to watch? Can I ask, who wants to watch that? Honestly, who wants to watch somebody eating and watching another person's content? That's just very strange to me. Like, I like to eat and watch content. I don't want to watch someone else eat and watch some content. That just seems very, very weird to me. So I mean, I don't know. I like watching people play video games. That's certainly fun because that's an actual, and like, there's obviously involvement there. But like, when you're just like watching somebody, watching a video, not really reacting, or like looking at their phone, or doing something else, it's very bizarre, and I don't know why it's allowed, or has been accepted. It's just very strange, other than just that, like I said, there are content creators out there who have a large following, and they get away with a lot because of that following, I guess. That's the only thing that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Now, I know, like, people could say, well, you'd probably love it if one of those big streamers would watch one of your videos. It's like, well, I mean, probably, because it might get more attention, and that's always, for someone who's smaller, that might not be so bad. But when you're big, or like when you're larger, and it's like, you don't need that from people, you don't need the rub, so to speak. It's probably very frustrating if you feel like someone's just taking your views away or whatever and making it their own. Like, it's just a very strange thing. In terms of that, like, I'm all for sharing content. I'm fair use, using things, transformative, that kind of thing. I mean, like, say someone was going to react to this, right? They took, they didn't, like, they would take parts out, like, here's, and respond or whatever. I agree with this, I don't agree with this, or whatever, as long as they don't take it out of context, of course. So they might put little clips in, responding, reacting. That's one thing, but if they put the whole video in, watched it, which would be really weird. I don't think that would be fun to watch at all, personally, but and then it was like, yeah, I agree at the end. It's like, no, that's not really, I mean, you're just taking my stuff, man. Like, that's not okay, and on principle, I don't think that's an okay thing to do. Like I said, I even question whenever it's a story thing in a game. Like, I remember doing stuff for WoW. It's like, well, I think it's fine because other people are doing it at the time. And like I said, I like watching people react to games, or trailers or whatever. That's all fine and good. Because those are ads. Those aren't like, I mean, I guess it's kind of like content, but they're mostly ads for something. It's a little bit different than, trailers and stuff like that. But when it's like a full 30-minute video or something like that, it's like, man, that, I don't know about that. That's a little bit more questionable in my opinion. So I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. It brought up an interesting conversation, I think, about just, what is transformative content, what is allowed. It's kind of a dumb thing too, because I'm sure like most people who don't make content, maybe they don't care. And that's kind of like another thing is like, it's just, a lot of the drama in general that, like, it gets old. It's like, come on, man, like, let's just, get along and agree. But I think it's an interesting conversation to have, because, like, I think, if you're going to get into YouTube, if you're going to do this kind of thing, like, a lot of people want to, gosh, I cannot find anything. Everything is dead because there's like somebody here taking everything. There we go. We found one. Like, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, is how do I get into YouTube or whatever? And like, to me, it's like, I think at some point, this is something that you do because you enjoy it, right? Like, it's something, I think it's best done if you enjoy doing it. If you found something that you enjoy making, then you do it. And whether you get a lot of views or you get some views, who cares, right? Now, obviously, some people, it became lucrative enough and good enough that it became their career, and that's awesome. But even then, like, I mean, if your career has become nothing more than you reacting to other people's work and all their hard work, and you're taking that away from them, man, that's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I think it's best not to do that. I think if you're going to react to something, I think it's fine as long as you make it transformative, as long as you are respectful to the content creator. And, I don't think it's good enough to, like, watch the entire video, but then it's like, well, I'll put a link in the description to the original video so you can, go watch it again. Like, no. That's not good enough, man. I think people should be more respectful of others' content. I certainly don't think it's cool to, like, stream yourself watching a video that someone else made. And I don't think that's very fair to them. I don't care if people want to watch it. That doesn't matter. I mean, that'd be like me uploading music to YouTube and be like, well, people want to hear the music. It's like, yeah, that doesn't make it okay, man. I mean, people should, find the original source of the music and, do what the original source of the music creators want, whether they're giving away for free or whatever. It's the right thing to do, I think. And so that's kind of my take on it. I mean, I think it's reasonable for people to be a little frustrated, at the same time. A lot of this drama, is a little bit annoying. But, I thought it was an interesting topic. I really, I'd like to hear what people think about stuff like that. Maybe people don't really care, I guess. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm sure a lot of people are like, who cares? People are making videos about video games. Like, why are we fighting? It's a good question, isn't it? But, like, at the same time, it's like, I guess, it's people, a lot of people do it for a living. A lot of people have the privilege. And that's the thing is, it's certainly a privilege. I mean, I don't do this for a living. I do it for fun, and it's still considered a privilege. It's just, like, it's just so much fun to do it. It's just you get a lot of joy out of it. So, like, anything, I think any artist has been there, right? Like, where, I mean, like I said, my wife, like, my wife made something, like, did a photography shoot for somebody, and then they took that photo and then used it in their, like, advertisement for something they were making, and it was like, I mean, that's questionable. So, like, I think anybody who's ever been in the art field or in the creative field has probably experienced something like this, whether you unintentionally or maybe intentionally, I don't know, took somebody else's ideas or content away, or maybe you saw someone legitimately take your content and make it their own, and I'm sure it's very frustrating, so I don't know, that's what I was just thinking about, something silly to talk about for a little bit, and just something I noticed. Like, I don't know if anybody else has noticed the drama, or if you get tired of hearing about the drama. I know, like, it's been around for a while, but I feel like the drama stuff has gotten more and more, like, bigger, like, whatever, and it's just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. I mean, there are actually entire channels that just focus on drama between people on the internet, and it's just, I don't know, man. I guess I don't live in that world, but either way, some things do come to my attention, and sometimes it's just fun to talk about. So I don't know if anybody even has an opinion on this, because if you're not making content, I guess you probably don't care that much. But I still thought it was fun to talk about. So anyhow, there you go, you guys. I hope these videos have been fun. I hope these discussions have been, fun to listen to or whatever, and maybe, people might have opinions on, and they can feel free to, share those in the comments below. But we did hit level 28, so check that out. We can actually spend another talent points right there. Well, I guess I gotta be out of combat first. So let's just finish fighting this thing, and I will put my point in there either way, and then I will go learn some skills, because there's been a few levels, and I haven't talked to a trainer. So I'm gonna go do that, and we will pick things up probably back over in the graveyard for one final swoop through Duskwood, and then we will figure out where to go next. So, like, honestly, if anybody has any suggestions where what zone you think I should go to next, by all means, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you thought about today's topic in the comments below as well, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button, and feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like, you can support this channel on Patreon. Links to all of this can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.